Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Welcome to our service. So great to have people in the room and on Zoom. It's wonderful to see everybody tonight. I want us to sit with anticipation, because in our reading this week, we are at Mount Sinai. We're at that place in the book of Exodus in our sacred reading where we are greeted by our father-in-law, Jethro, and he is bringing back our family, and we are about to experience revelation. But in a brilliant way that the rabbis do, in the way that they slice and dice our Torah readings each week, so that we start at a very specific place. What I used to say, and used to have fun with Rabbi Sandler, called dropping the needle. He said stylus, I said needle, like those old record players where you drop it on the album and see where it lands, what part of the song it's playing. The rabbis did the same thing, of course, with our Torah readings. They would put it down and say, this week you start right here. The question always is, well, why do we start with that story? Especially when in this week's Parshat Yitro, it's really all about the Ten Commandments. It's about the Ten Commandments. That's the center of it. But we start 2 chapters back, or chapter and a half back, with the encounter of Moses and Jethro, Yitro, where they greet each other after not seeing each other for quite a while, after all the miracles that happened at Sinai. And we hear this story, this interaction, and this celebration that Jethro brings to Moses and the people of all the celebration of the signs and wonders in which God did for the people in Egypt. But why not just start with the Ten Commandments? Isn't that exciting enough? Isn't that celebratory enough? And I think in some ways, that's what we're doing here with Kabbalat Shabbat. Our Sabbath for the next 25 hours, God willing, will have lots of wonderful things in it. Opportunities to be with family, meals that you could have with friends, opportunity to rest, to read, to study, all those good things. But we don't start right with that. We don't just kick up our feet right away and lie back with that good book. But instead, we start to make our way, as if we're being gathered and greeted by an old friend, somebody we know that loves us, somebody that's carrying with us, with them, people we want to see. In this case, for Jethro, it was bringing Zipporah and Moses' 2 children with him. But for us, we are greeting the angels that will come our way. We are greeting and being greeted by the Shabbos Queen. And we do that because we are about to walk into this very sacred moment. It might not have all the thunder and lightning that Mount Sinai did with the giving of the Torah, but it will still be filled with great levels of holiness if we sit and greet it in the proper way, which is what we're doing here with Kabbalat Shabbat. So before we get there, though, we have to end last week. So let's begin on page 1 in our blue prayer books, where we will end with the Ashrei.
Ashrei yoshvei veitecha, Ashrei yoshvei veitecha, od yehalelucha Selah. Ashrei ha'am, Ashrei am shikach lo, Ashrei am she'Adonai Eloham. ay la 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 la, na la 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 la, ay la la la, Teilat Adonai Yidaber pi Yivarech kol basar Shem kodesho Le'olam va'ed V'anachnu nivorech yad מעתה ועד עולם. הללויה, הללויה, hallelujah. We invite those who are in mourning, observing yard sites from this last day, to rise in body or in spirit as we turn ahead to page 12 for the Mourner's Kaddish. For those online, we invite you to enable your microphones in support of those in mourning as we recite page 12, Kaddish Yatom. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba Alma divra kirutei v'yamif malchutei v'chayechon v'yimachon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael v'agala v'zman ri v'yimru amen Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach ve'alam omei almaya Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yishtomam v'yitznaseh Yitzadar v'yitzaleh v'yitzalal May the Kudusha Be'ela Mikol Birchata V'Shirata Shbechata V'Nechemata Miran Be'alma V'Yimru Amen Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya Chaim Aleinu Le'Kol Yisrael V'Yimru Say Shalom Imrama Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'Kol Yisrael V'Yimru Amen. We turn ahead to page 15 as we enter in, or begin the process at least, of entering into the Shabbat. Making that first decision, as we talked about last week over Shabbat, of stepping into that wilderness, stepping towards that mountain, and beginning to soften and open ourselves up to what the content of that revelation might be. As we take the awesomeness and power of those moments that our ancestors experienced and begin to figure out what does it actually mean for us as we walk through our lives. Page 15. Lechu Neranin al Adonai Lechu Naria Litzur Yishenu Lechu Neranin al Adonai Lechu Naria Litzur Yishenu Nekadma fanav betoda Bizmirot naria lo Nekadma fanav betoda Bizmirot naria lo Lechu Neranin al Adonai Lechu Naria Litzur Yishenu Lechu Neranin al Adonai Lechu Naria Litzur Yishenu Nekadma fanav betoda Bizmirot naria Nari alon nekadma fanav bitoda bizmirod nari alon בואו נשתחווה ונרחב. 40 שנה אקוט בדור ואומר עמתוי לבבם והם לא ידעו דרכי אשר נשבעתי ואפי אם יבון אל מנוחתי ידידה ידה 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 ידידה ידה ידה ידידה ידה ידידה 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 Page 16. Shir Adonai, Shir Chadash, Shir Adonai Kol Haaretz. As we enter into that moment at the foot of the mountain, we ask ourselves, what might it feel like to be in the presence of that moment with the thunder and the lightning and the shofar getting louder and louder? What do we do with these words that we receive? Where do we put them? We put them before us. Do we let them guide us? Do we let them surround us and fill us up? Hod ve'ada lefanav. God's might and God's splendor and God's glory lead our way. Oz v'tiferet, the strength and beauty, fill our holy places. 9 lines down, we offer these words, entering into that moment, opening ourselves up to that revelation. Od ve'adar lefanav, Oz v'tiferet b'mikdasho, Hod ve'hadar lefanav, Oz v'tiferet b'mikdasho, Oz v'tiferet, Oz v'tiferet b'mikdasho, 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 Hod ve'adar lefanav, Oz v'tiferet b'mikdasho, והדר לפניו. עוז ותפארת במקדשו, עוז ותפארת, עוז ותפארת, עוז ותפארת במקדשו, 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 במקדשו. ידעי, די, די, די. די, 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 די. הבו לנו למשפחות עמים, הבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז. לפני אדוני קיווה ישפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק וימים באמונתו. Page 17. אדוני מלך תגל הארץ, ישמחו עם רבים, ענן וערפל סביבה, צדק משפט מכון כיסו. Eish lefanav telech, a great fire goes before us. Clouds and confusion surround us, but in the midst of it all, tzedek umishpat, righteousness and justice make up God's throne. Zarua la tzadik, uyishrei lev simcha, simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, vehodu lezecher kodsho. Page 18. Mizmor shiru l'Adonai shir chadash, כי נפלאות עשה, הושיע לו ימינו, וזרוע קודשו, הודיע אדוני ישועתו, לעיני הגויים גילה צדקתו, זכר חסדו ואמונתו, לבית ישראל ראו כל אפסי הארץ את ישועת אלוהינו, הריעו לאדוני כל הארץ, פיצחו ורננו וזמרו, זמרו לאדוני בכינור, בכינור וכל זמרה, בחצוצרות וכל שופר, הריעו לפני המלך אדוני, ירם הים ומלואו, תבל ויושבה, נהרות עמך וכף, יחד הרים ירננו, לפני אדוני קיווה, ישבות הארץ, ישבות תבל בצדק, ועמים במישרים, ינד ימבמבה, הידדה, ענד ימבמבה, ענד ימבמבה, הידדה, ענד ימבמבה, הידדה, ענד ידדה, הידדה, ידדה, Alayda yada da da da, anayda yada da 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 da. Adonai malach yigezu amim, Yoshev Keruvim Tanut Haaretz. Page 19. Adonai B'Tzion Gadol v'Rav Kol Yimim. Yos Melech Mishpat V'Ta Konanta Mesharim. Moshe v'Aaron v'Kohanav Ushmuel b'Korei Shemo Korim El Adonai Vehu Yanim Be'amud Anan Yidaber Aleim Shamru Eidotav V'chok Natan Lamo Adonai Eloheinu Ata Nitam El Nosei Ayita Lahem V'nokem Alalilotav Romemu Adonai Eloheinu Ve'ishtachavu Le'akodsho Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu.
Before we offer Psalm 29 on page 20, I want us to take a look, so please join me there on page 20. The voice of Adonai thunders over rushing water. The voice of Adonai roars with might. The voice of Adonai echoes with majesty. The voice of Adonai shatters the cedars. Kol Adonai chotzef lavot eish. Kol Adonai yachil midbar. Yachil Adonai midbar kadesh. The voice of Adonai splits rock with lightning. The voice of Adonai stirs the wilderness. The voice of Adonai strips the forest bare, while in God's sanctuary all chant glory. It is a powerful psalm. Now, I will tell you, I did not understand this psalm spiritually until I actually moved here. I've talked often about something that I think most of us take for granted is Georgia weather. I don't know if you've paid much attention to Georgia weather. From where I'm from on the other coast, we don't get storms like we get out here. There is little lightning, little thunder. It happens, but not often. Rains are a trickle. They happen over an extended period of time. It's more of just moisture than it actually is rain. And that's about it. The shaking and moving happens from underground, from where I come from. And that's a very different experience we could talk about at another time. But there is something incredible about watching a storm come in. Watching it come from the coast and make its way. We often look at it as on the radar, right? We go to our app or online and we watch the storm coming in. We get everything we need to be ready, our umbrella, our galoshes, whatever it is that we take out in storms. But there's something really incredible if you pay attention and listen. I haven't done it in a while, but I used to sit at the door when big storms would come through here, and I would just leave the door open and just listen and watch. And it is absolutely amazing. But I think we're in some ways programmed like that, right? We like things to be big and flashy. It catches our attention. Maybe it's a protective device within us evolutionarily, right? Maybe we see something from the corner of our eye, we know to beware, be careful. Maybe the loud thunder and the lightning and the dense rain makes us pay more attention. We have a little bit more clarity because of concern. But we also have to pay attention, especially to the last line. The last line, Adonai oz le'amo yitain, that God gives us strength to endure all those things, but that's not what we need and what we're looking for. That's not the goal. The goal is not to live in a storm. The goal is not to live with thunder and lightning coming down upon us. It may grab our attention. It may be worthy of sitting in the house with the door open and listening and watching, but ultimately, vayivarech et amo bashalom, the end of the peace. bestowing strength upon his people, but blessing his people with peace. That's the place that we really do need to listen for God. We need to listen at those quiet moments when the thunder and lightning isn't coming down. Maybe in the morning when you get a cup of coffee and not a whole lot is stirring outside. The traffic is light, not a whole lot is going on. The light might be just coming up. If you're like me, that's often when we're up. Listen carefully to those moments too. Because although the thunder and lightning will grab our attention, ultimately, blessing comes with listening for the peace. Let's begin Psalm 29, page 20. Please rise.
Mizmor leDavid, Avul Adonai b'nei Elim, Avul Adonai, Kavod va'ozaydai, Avul Adonai kevod shemo, Shtachavu Adonai be'adrat kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim el hakavod irim, Adonai al mayim rabim, Kol Adonai ba'koach haydai, Kol Adonai be'adai, Kol Adonai shover arazim, vayishaber Adonai et arzei alvanon, vayarkidem kemo egel Levanon veSirion kemo ve'en mi ma'idai, Kol Adonai chotzev lavotesh, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, Yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai yicholel hayalot, vayechesov Yarot uveichalo kulo merkavod aydai, Adonai lamabul yashav, vayeshev Adonai melech leolam, Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Dididai, dai, dai, dai. Dididai, dai, dai, ai, da, dai. Ai, dai, dai, dai. Ai, dai, 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 ai, dai, dai. Dai, da, dai, da, 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 bam, bai, bai, da, dai. And da, 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 bai, da, da. And da, 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 and da, da, bai, da, da, da. Di da da, di da 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 da, di da da da, di da da da, di da da da. We're seated, page 21, as we enter into Shabbat with Chadodi. Lecha dodi likvat kala yadadai 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 pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi likvat kala yababai 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 pnei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, ishmi'anu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad, l'shemu tiferet ve'litila. Lecha dodi likrat kala yedada 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yababai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mekor abiracha merosh mikedem nesucha sof maaseh b'machshava tchila lecha dodi likrat kala yedada 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 p'nei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yedada 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 p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hina ari me'afar kumi livshi bigdei tifartechami al yad ben ishai beit lachmi korva el nafshi ge'ala. Lecha dodi likrat kala yedada 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 b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yebabai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Itoreri itoreri kiva ore kumiori Uri, Uri, shidaberi, kivod Adonai, alaich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kai, yababai, 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 p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kai, p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lo tevushi velo tikami Ma tishtochachi u'ma tehemi Bach yechasu aniei ami V'nivneta ir al tila Lecha dodi likrat kala yedada 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yedada 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabela. V'hayu limshisa shosayich v'rachaku kol mevalayich yasis alayich Elohayich kimsos chatan chatan al kala. Lecha dodi likrat kala yebabai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yebabai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Yamin usmol tifrotzi vet Adonai taritzi al yad ish ben partzi v'nismecha v'nagila Olecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Olecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. We rise together. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam b'simcha u'v'tzola toch emuneh am segula boi chala olecha dodi likra kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela ol echad odi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela B'nei Shabbat nekabela. We're seated as we continue page 23. Mizmor shir leyom HaShabbat Tov leodol Adonai uzamer l'shimcha elyon Le'akid b'boker chastecha ve'emunatcha b'leilot Magal masecha Adonai Tzadik katamar yifrach ke'erez balevanon yiskeh shitulib beveit Adonai mechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenuvun beseva deshenim verananim iu lehagid ki yashar Adonai tzuri velo avlatabor. Adonai malach ki ulaveish, page 24. Laveish Adonai hosi tazar. Afti undi levav timon nachon ki secha me'azmei olamata. Nasu ne'arot Adonai, nasu ne'arot kolam. Yisu ne'arot uchyam. Mikol u'mayim abim adirim mishpereyam adir b'marom Adonai. Edotecha nemnu meod levircha nav hakodesh Adonai leorech yamim.
Those who are in the morning or observing yurtzeit, I invite you to enable your voices or stand if in your place to offer the words of the Mornis Kaddish, middle of page 24. Yitgadal, Yitgadash, Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma Divrah Kirtei, V'yamlich Malchutei, Be'chayechon Uv'yomechon, Uv'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala Uv'izman Kariv V'imru, Amen Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevorach, Le'olam U'mayim, Yiparach, V'yishtabach, V'yibar, V'yitronam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shmei de Kudushav, Ve'ela min kol bechata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechamata, v'niran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael zimnu.
Amen.
Yaseh shalom b'mramav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Amen.
Move into our Mariv service, page 28 at the bottom of the page, middle of the page, as we offer where it says the first bracha, the first blessing before the recitation of the Shema. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro mariv aravim b'chochma poteach she'arim v'nemishanei yitmach b'zmanim v'sedeh tuchim v'shvet v'megid b'tzono u'ma'avir yom u'mevi layla u'mavdil ben yom u'ben layla Adonai tzvaot shemo El Chai v'kayam tamid imoch aleinu leolam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Hamariv Aravim. Page 29. Avat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha v'tah Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, b'shochveinu u'b'kumeinu, nasiach b'chukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגה יומם ולילה, יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תשים ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל אדוני Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. והיה אם שמוע תשמע תודה שם אמרתי בו יחד ושמעים על הארץ ויבשם על הארץ ויצית על הארץ ויצית על הארץ שצריכם ארץ ישראל לכם ואני אדוני אלוהיכם. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Page 32. Emet ve'emuna kol zot v'kayam aleinu ki hu Adonai Eloheinu ve'in zulato v'anachnu Yisrael amo apoltim ya'malachim. Umalchuto beratzon kiblu aleihem Moshe uvnei Yisrael lechanu shira b'simcha rabba ve'amaru chulam mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh Nora Tehilot O Seifele Malchutcha Ra'uvanecha Bokei Hayam Lifnei Moshe Ze Elianu Ve'ameru Adonai Imloch Leolam Va'ed V'ne'emar Kifada Adonai et Yaakov וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. Let's read together in English on the bottom left-hand side of page 33. Creator of peace, compassionate God, guide us to a covenant of peace with all your creatures, birds and beasts, as well as all humanity, a reflection of your image of compassion and peace. Give us strength to help sustain your promised covenant, abolishing blind strife and bloody warfare, so that they will no longer devastate the earth, so discord will no longer tear us asunder. And all that is savage and brutal will vanish, and we shall fear evil no more. Guard our coming and our going, now toward waking, now toward sleep, always within your tranquil shelter. Beloved are you, sovereign of peace, whose embrace encompasses Jerusalem, the people Israel, and all humanity. Ushmor tzeitenu vo'enu lechayim u'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, baruch ata Adonai, הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים. We rise together, page 34 for Vishamru. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם עד עדי ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. We take a few moments of private meditation as we offer the words of the Amidah beginning on page 35 through page 38. We're taking a few moments of meditation and reflection on our week as we move into this expansiveness of Shabbat. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom, shalom b'meromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. We continue with our Kiddush for Shabbat, inviting those who are at home to grab some grape juice or wine if you'd like to join us. Page 47 will begin with the first paragraph, and then jumping to page 49 to complete our Kiddush. ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם ויכל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו כי בו שווה מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. סברי חבריי, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצבנו בשבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה וראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Hi. Remain standing, page 51 for Aleinu. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו בגופי מרומים הוא אלוהינו אין עוד אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו ככתוב בתורתו וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. אוקיי, נקבל זה. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. It's with great sadness our community lost this week Stan Pollock, father of Mark and Carrie, Jennifer and Mike and Brittany. We pray that the Pollock family is getting all the support that they need during this time. We note the continuing Shloshim period, 30 days after passing, for Alice Kaplan, mother to Scott and Shelley, Randy and Paul and Mark, Karen and Terry and Jack, Leah Steinhardt Lamore, grandmother of Avital and Michael Cohen, and Paul Klein, father to Dana Klein. We also note on this, the 20th of Shvat, the yurtzites of Sydney Baum, mother to Bruce, Frank Hahn, father to Frank Hahn, Beverly Rose Kern, friend to Diane Bernstein, Harry Lefkoff, the father to Ralda Reish and father-in-law to Francis Lefkoff, Ben Sandler, uncle to Rabbi Neil and Susan Sandler, Bertha Schaefer, mother to Joel and Linda Schaefer, Ray Sherman, mother to Harriet Lewis, Toby Gerber, mother to Barbara and George Nathan, and Robert Moret, father to Macy and Jenny Moret. We also continue to walk with those who come every morning and evening to our prayer service, remembering Sandra Adair, Marvin Silverman, Jacob Dolaboff, Jerry Kotler, Hank Oxman, Leslie Parker, David Carl Yarm, Bobby Lax, Rita Tuvlin, David Siegel, Marshalyn Moatar, Adrian Cohen, Al Filsuf, Kelly Inney, Saul Schenberg, Al Bahar, Gloria Bahar, Samuel Kaplan, Janice Gordon Sassine, Leon Stambler, Cookie Frank, Elliot Levitas, Richard Ander, Melvin Grossman, Carol Deutsch, Harold Vrono, Phyllis Podber, Barry Weiner, Aubrey Garber Wazalewski, Murray Schenberg, and Roberta Berger, and Sharon Hamburger. If I've omitted any names, please forgive me, but know that we continue to walk with you as you remember your loved ones. As those who are mourning or observing a yahrzeit, please rise or enable your voices so that we could join in the call and response of the Mourner's Kaddish, page 51. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, Alma divra kirtei v'yamlich malchutei, Echayachon v'yamechon, v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'bizman kariv, Ru, Amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach, Olam omei omaya, Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yinaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalei v'yitalal, Ela minkol berchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechmata, v'niran be'olam v'yiru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru, Amen. Say shalom yimama, say shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru, Amen. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us, in person or online. We're grateful that you're here. 9:30 tomorrow morning, our service starts. 10:30, Allison Goldman will be leading our Torah study tomorrow, so we're looking forward to that. This is her first time, right? First time leading Torah study, so we're grateful to her and all those who step up to lead Torah study. So that'll be at 10:30 tomorrow morning. We are celebrating Sisterhood Shabbat tomorrow, so we'll have a lot of participation from lots of different people in our service, and a very special message sermon given by Linda Davis, the head head of the executive committee of the Jewish Women's Fund of Atlanta. So it should be a wonderful opportunity to hear from her all the incredible work that the Jewish Women's Fund does and be together with community. So we'll hope you join us. 6 o'clock tomorrow night is our online service for Mincha, Maariv, and Havdalah. A lot of other things going on, so please check the e-blast and the website for just happenings that are happening. Happenings that are happening. That's a good thing. Rabbi Blesson, anything else?
No.
Okay.
That's it.
Let us get going with our service. Page 50.
Let's do 13.
Oh, we're going back to page 13. Shalom Aleichem, page 13.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bachem leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you so much for being here.
Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.